Hello, good morning. As everybody was asking about vocabularies, I thought I can start with the regular introduction. Okay, since I have completed my IELTS, I thought I can give an introduction about IELTS and then move on to the vocabularies. Okay, so many will not know what is IELTS. Okay, see what is IELTS? It is an international English language testing system. Okay, they are testing your English proficiency. Okay, how do you speak, how do you read, how do you write, and how do you listen what the native speakers speak. When they speak, how do you understand that? See, basically I am a South Indian, so see, we people use our mother tongue or slang when we are speaking English. Yes or no? See, we are more comfortable with speaking in our mother tongue, but we don't need to act as though we are native speakers. No, the examiner needs only how do you understand, your understanding skill, your vocabularies, and how do you do that. Okay, so just it is an international English language testing system. Is the world's most popular English proficiency test for either your if you apply for any professional job, or if you want to study, you can apply, you can attempt this test. Okay, without this they won't allow you to do the processing. Okay, when you do the processing, there it is mandatory that you should have this IELTS score. Okay, even it is useful for immigration. Okay, if you want to migrate to the other country, if you want to migrate to other European countries, Australia, whatever it is, you need IELTS. And another thing is, there is another language called TOEFL, and that is for US or some other countries. It is mainly for United States of America, but still some countries accept TOEFL also. Okay, see, how does IELTS work? See, IELTS has been developed by some of the world's leading language assessment experts and will test the full range of English skills needed for success in your new job or study placement abroad. See, what they are doing is, actually there are three people, those who are the producers, those who are going to conduct the test, and they are the British Council. One is British Council, the other one is IDP, and the other one is Cambridge English Assessment. Okay, so in this there are two types of IELTS: academic and general training. Okay, so which one is best for you? I'll tell you. In both, in academic and in general training, they are going to test you on listening, reading, writing, and speaking. So this is the four elements they are going to assess on you. How do you listen, and how do you perform in reading, and how do you write, and how do you converse. Okay, first of all, see, I already told you it is two types. IELTS is two types in this: academic and general training. Listening and speaking are the same for both the tests. Listening and speaking. So these both are same for academic and general training. But the subject matter of the reading and writing section differs depending on which test you take. Like, academic is different from general training. Actually, it is GT. They call GT. Okay. The listening, reading, writing section of all IELTS tests are completed on the same day with no breaks in between them. The speaking session, however, can be completed up to a week before or after the other test. Your test center will advise this. So the total test time is 2 hours and 45 minutes. So on the whole, your test timings is 2 hours and 45 minutes. Okay. Now, move on to the listening. What is listening? See, actually, listening is, this is a session which is the same for the academic and GT test, that is general training. It includes 4 sessions of 10 questions each. So, 4 sessions A, B, C and D. In this 4 session, it is 10 questions each. Total section timing is 30 minutes and the students are allowed an additional 10 minutes to fill out their answer sheets. So each set of questions is based on a recorded listening passage that will be played only once. Okay. Each listening passage is unique in terms of the topic and number of the speakers. The first 2 passages are on topics of general interest with 1 conversation and 1 monologue. The second pair of passage concern academic subjects also with the conversation such as a student discussion and a monologue such as a lecture. Test takers should expect several types of questions including chart completion, multiple choice, short answers, sentence completion, labeling of the diagram, classification and matching. Okay, do you got it? Next, we move on to the reading session. See, this reading session, the academic and the general training test each have their own reading papers. The main difference between the two is the subject of the reading passage. The academic reading paper features 3 academic texts, while the general training reading session includes 5 to 6 texts, most of which are shorter and intended for wider readership. The timing is 1 hour and the number of sessions is 3 and number of questions is 40. They are same on both versions, but there are slight difference of the structure. Each session of the academic test will have between 12 to 14 questions, but the section of the general session and the academic test will have between 12 to 14 questions. Okay. The academic reading paper has 11 different types of exercises, while the general training test has only 12. The test takers are not given additional time to transfer their answers to the answer sheets on the session of the IELTS. But in listening, they have given 10 minutes of time to transfer your answers. Yes or no? Good. We'll move on to the writing. See, in IELTS, writing paper is also unique to one version of the test or the other, although they have a great deal in common. On both versions, students are given 1 hour to complete 2 separately timed writing tasks. The first writing task, 20 minutes, and is worth half as much as the second, 40 minutes. And all essays are evaluated according to similar assessment criteria on both exams. The longer exercise is discursive essay, in which students must be able to argue a certain position or present a solution to a given problem. The general training short essay is a letter written in reaction to a given situation, while the academic short essay is written description of a chart or a graph. The recommended length for short essay is 150 words and 250 words is the suggested length for long essays. Okay, next, the speaking. In this test, the session is same for academic and general training. On this portion of the IELTS, test takers will be subjected to a live interview, which will be recorded for later assessment. The speaking paper has a 3-part structure that lasts for a total of 11 to 14 minutes. In part 1, that is 4 to 5 minutes, students answer questions on topic with which they are familiar, such as like current events, hobbies, or preference. During part 2, 3 to 4 minutes, the students must discuss a topic covered in a provided booklet, and they are given approximately 1 minute to prepare their discussion. In part 3, and that is 4 to 5 minutes, the test taker answers more in-depth questions on the topic discussed in part 2. Okay. Now, which is my right choice? So, you may be in confusion which IELTS test I should take. So, I told you it is academic and general training. So, it is according to you. You have to choose the test. In academic, measures whether your level of English language proficiency is suitable for an academic environment. It reflects aspects of academic language and evaluates whether you are ready to begin training or studying. In IELTS General Test Training, that is GT test, it measures English proficiency in a practical everyday contest. This task and test reflect both workplace and social situation. If you are taking the IELTS test to support a UK visa application to work, live or study in the UK, you may need to take the IELTS for UK visa and immigration, academic or general training, or the IELTS for life skills test. Okay, so I already told you. See who owns this IELTS. IELTS is owned by British Council. So the symbol is British Council, and the next one is IDP, and the other one is Cambridge Assessment English. Okay, so I hope you can understand this. In my next future classes, I would explain the tips and the tricks how to use in all these 4 elements, and especially the vocabularies. Thank you.